everybody, it's Claire here from Sewn by Claire, and I just thought I'd give you a little update video really. We had a few things that have been happening and I just thought that I would check in with you all. We've got a very rainy day here in southern Spain. Luckily we're out of all of the rain and the disaster that's happening in the Valencia area, and my heart goes out to anybody who's affected by that. But over down here in southern Spain, where I'm on the Costa del Sol, then we have got a lot of rain. So a rainy day to me means a sewing day, which, okay, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that, but today it was a recording day as well, and whilst I need to finish off the jacket for Byron, the Highland Cow by Lily Rose Dolls, I'm not quite ready to do that yet, so I just thought to do a quick update video because it's much easier to edit and to get uploaded, and then whilst you're all enjoying that, then hopefully I'll be able to get on with doing some other bits and bobs. So what's been happening with me? Well, we've had a really busy October. It's just been one of those Octobers that has just really knocked us for six, really. So the first thing that that we did was I was planning for my op. I've had a jaw operation here. I got a wisdom tooth that was embedded in my jawbone, and unfortunately I got an infection by the side of it, and so I had to go in and have some surgery done, which I had done just over 2 weeks ago, and I've had my checkup with my surgeon now and everything's all good. So I've got a little bit of bruising just down here, but generally speaking it's much better than it was. I couldn't really go out for a couple of weeks. It really did look like I'd had something terrible happen to me, but all the bruising was all down here. But last of the stitches are out and everything's all good, and I saw the surgeon yesterday and she's really delighted with the way that it's healed. I have got full feeling along here, which I was worried again that I wouldn't have, because there's a nerve that runs down either side of your jaw, and that can affect the when you have a wisdom tooth that's embedded in and it's close to that nerve, then sometimes the nerve gets damaged at the same time as they're dealing with the thing that they needed to do. So I've jumped straight into it, haven't I? So I'm Claire from Sewn by Claire. It is about a sewing channel, not a personal disaster channel, but I just thought to just do a quick update. And we've had a lot of new subscribers recently as well, so I've had a couple of mentions from a couple of people, so I want to say my thank yous to those in a minute. So if you're new here, then please bear with me. I'm just bringing you up to date with a few live things, but there are some projects as well that will come into that. So yeah, so sometimes the nerve gets affected down here and you can lose the sensation along this side of your mouth, and I must say I did think that was going to happen to me, but I'm delighted that it hasn't, and my surgeon was really good, so thank you very much to Patricia Lopez at Hospiten Estepona Hospital, who's very happily sorted me out, so I'm really pleased with that. But yeah, the bruising was all the way down here. It really did look dreadful, but that was 2 weeks ago, and I was on antibiotics for a week and they've worked really well, and then I've had to have an antiseptic mouthwash, which was really disgusting, for a couple of weeks, but now I'm all done, so I can talk to you again, and hopefully now I can be on video now that I'm all healed. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to say really as well, that sort of live things that have happened the last couple of days, so we'll go into those and I'll go on to the projects if that's okay with you. And one of them was that just immediately before the operation, I think I kind of signed out with you guys about a week before the operation, and I got some videos lined up whilst I was out of action. Unfortunately, we had a call over to the UK that my husband Rob, his mum wasn't very well, and she's 94 and she was in a care home as well, where she was being very nicely looked after, but unfortunately she had a couple of strokes, so we were all called over, so we had to hotfoot it over to the UK in order that we could then be with her. So I booked my flight back for the Monday night anyway, because I knew I was having my operation on the Tuesday, so we got back on the Saturday morning to the UK, and then I stayed with her and my husband Rob until the Monday night Monday afternoon when we took me back to the airport. Rob stayed with his mum, so I did have to have the operation on my own, but in the scheme of things it was all fine. I put my big girl pants on and I got a couple of friends roped in to be able to help me, because it was really important that Rob was spending time with his mum, both for him and for her, and with his sister and his brother as well, and unfortunately she did pass away just about just under a week later. So I'd been over back to Spain and had my operation. I had that on the Tuesday, and then his mum actually passed away on the Thursday night. So yeah, so that's been a bit of a blow really to us, because she was a lovely lady, and Rob and I a second time round on our marriage, and she was really lovely, even though she was very close to his first wife, Rob's first wife. Then she was really lovely to me when I appeared on the scene, so I was forever grateful for that for her. And as I've said, some of her sayings and the things that she used to do will live on with us. And Rob's coping really well. Yeah, sad moments, and they come upon him every now and again, and we have a bit of a cry together, and then we kind of carry on really with life. But anybody who's lost, and that's his last parent to go, I've still got both my parents still alive, and that's the last of his parents to go. So people have said to me that it can feel quite different once you lost your second parent. So we're being really kind to him, and just really lots of cuddles and stuff, and hopefully, you know, he's gonna feel okay and come out the other side and get to remembering his mum the way that he wants to remember her. And then we've got to go back at the end of February for the funeral. November for the funeral. So there's going to be a bit of interruption to the channel just at the moment with the filming schedule, just whilst we accommodate some of those live things. So I hope that you will bear with us. I mean, life is just full of contrasts, isn't it? Not only did I have my op, not only have we lost Rob's mum, but then we also were given the news that, the good news, that Rob's son James and his wife Sarah are expecting their first baby. So we're going to be grandparents again. So we're already grandparents to a 3-year-old called Clementine, who is from my daughter, from my first marriage, my eldest daughter, Rebecca, and her husband Dan. And we have a lovely relationship with her. Even though we're across the distance, we do our very best to keep in touch. And we've now got another little one on the way. So Sarah, at the time of film, is about 17 weeks, so we're nearly halfway there, which is great. And baby's due 4th of April. So we were able, and James was able to tell his nanny before she passed that she was going to be a great grandma. So we're working forward with that news, and you know, it's so difficult to be so down and up at the same time. You know, it's one of those things. But they're coming to visit us next week as well, so that's going to interrupt with filming over here when they come over here as well, because I don't like to take myself away from our guests. Because we really appreciate them coming over to us. So you're just going to have to bear with me for a while whilst we've got some family things just happening. But come December, and hopefully we should be okay, although we are waiting for my mum to have a hip operation. She's had 2 knees done in the last 18 months, and then she's now going to have a hip operation as well, and I have said that I will go over to help her, but I have no idea when that will be yet. So that's just in the future at some stage, and I'll take some time out then to go and visit her. But Byron's jacket is coming, I promise. He's up on, I'm looking up, he's up on my shelf. He's got his trousers and his waistcoat on ready, but he does just need his jacket to finish him off. But that is coming very soon, and that will be my next video that I do for you all. So those were those things that I wanted to say. And also, just to the new subscribers, thank you very much indeed for popping along. Sorry about all of the life update, but for those regular ones who are with me, nearly 3,000 now, I can't believe it. Then I'm really appreciative that every single one of you are here, and thank you for choosing to subscribe to my channel and to follow the different sewing adventures that I have and the tutorials that I put out. There's a lot of lunar lapping that are the more historic videos, so they are when I first started filming and started building up the channel, and then I've made the switch across now to doing videos for Lily Rose dolls. I have got 1 or 2 outfits left to make for lunar lapping kits that were sponsored. At one time I was taking sponsorship for kits in order just to help with the cost of them, but with the Lily Rose dolls, then Claire and Richard there very kindly gift the patterns to me and the fabrics to me so that I can bring you the sew along tutorial. So that's why I've made the switch over to Lily Rose dolls. But there should be plenty of content for all those who are coming across for the lunar lapping videos to keep you entertained. There's quite a few there for you, both in characters and in clothing as well. So hopefully that will keep you interested for quite a while yet. And also, if there's something similar in the Lily Rose dolls videos that I've put out and tutorials, then you can always watch that. So I know somebody the other day was wanting a waistcoat tutorial, and there was one for a Lily Rose Dolls one, and there's some for the Bramble Bear, which is the bigger bear for Luna Lappin teddy bear, and then there's also Alfie's waistcoat, I think. So there's a selection that you can look at, even if it's not the exact pattern you're looking for, and hopefully there'll be tips and tricks there that you'll be able to pick up and use in your project. And move you forward. That's what I'm hoping. But there's two people who've actually given me a mention on their channel, and I am super grateful to them. The first one who mentioned me some time ago now, and I never did get around saying thank you, and I'm so sorry, Marsha. But Marsha from Mimi Makes Keepsakes, she was the first one to mention my channel, again in relation to the Luna Lappin sew along videos and tutorials, and I'm really grateful, Marsha, for your mention. Thank you. It did bring some people to my way, and I'm really grateful that they were here. And Marsha concentrates mainly on crochet as her main thing, but she's really enjoying her Luna Lappin journey as well, which I can't blame her for, because I did too. And she does I can't say it very well, arangami, is it? That's the characters with that really tight kind of crochet that make the characters up. So if you're interested in that content, if you're one of my subscribers and you're interested in that kind of content, then please do pop along to say hello to Marsha, and I hope that you find enjoyable content on her channel. And then the other person who's mentioned me only this week is Nicola over at Bumble Stitches. And I want to say a really big thank you to Nicola for mentioning me. I have been aware of Nicola's work before on the cross stitch front. As you'll know from my pictures, I do enjoy cross stitch. And whilst I wasn't a subscriber for Nicola, I did look at her videos. So when I saw that she was following me, that was great. And then I got a mention again for Luna Lappin and for the Luna Lappin tutorials. So if you're one of Nicola's subscribers and you've popped along, then I want to say a really big thank you. And also, if you're interested in cross stitch, then Nicola is much more proficient and prolific in her cross stitch journey, and also some quilting and just some lovely videos, so you can pop along and have a look at hers. I think she's on her floss tube number 53, I think is the one I was mentioned in. And so there's quite a lot of content there for if you're sitting and stitching, just to listen along to what Nicola's been up to, and I'm sure that you'll find some content there that you will enjoy. But thank you both to Marsha and to Nicola for very kindly mentioning my channel and bringing my channel to a wider audience. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so what have I been up to the last few weeks whilst I've been mending and recovering from my operation? Well, the one thing that I have been doing is making some bum bags like these ones. We call them bum bags. I know they call them, is it fanny packs they call them in America, I think? But this one is the one that I've been using most of the time. It's made from a light upholstery fabric. I didn't quite get my pattern matching quite right on the front there, but it was close enough. And then I bought a pre-made strap from, we call it ale hop in the UK, but they call it ale hop over here in Spain, where I am. And I just clipped that on. I know it's got gold fixings on there and silver on here, which isn't ideal, but I just went with what I got. And I wear mine like this. Oops, I can get my arm in. And it goes across my body like that, so it's a really great size. It does drop down slightly, but it's still really nice to wear. And I do enjoy that, and I made a little tassel to go on that. Let me just take that off to show you. That's just a little leather tassel. So if anybody wants a little tutorial on how to make little leather you won't come off, little leather tassels, then let me know and I'll have to show you how to make those if I can remember, because I did that one some time ago. But it just makes a really nice little zip pull and just puts a little bit of pizzazz on there as well, I think. But really comfortable, great when you're shopping because you're hands-free, and also when I'm travelling. I used it recently when I was travelling back to the UK when we went to visit Rob's mum, and it was great, perfect size for fitting a passport, a phone and a purse in, but then I got my hands-free for the luggage. So I'm really enjoying wearing this one. But this one wasn't the first one I made, this was the second one I made. The first one that I actually made was out of this fabric here, which is this like three-dimensional one fabric, and then I did quilt it on the lines in order just to bring out that 3D. The fabric is quite flat, but I've used the actual fabric itself. It's just the way that the shading's been put on that makes it look like that 3D. But again, that's quite a jazzy one, and I'm just in the process of making a strap because I had a little bit of fabric left over, and I bought some thick nylon webbing. I'm still standing up, aren't I? That I'm just going to use. So I'm going to mount the fabric on here onto that strap to make my own strap. I did have to buy some, don't think I've got them here. I did have to buy some, oh no I have, some hardware from Amazon. And I bought some swivel clips with a little clip on the edge there. And they come in a buckle, and they come in the D-rings as well. The D-rings are a little bit big for what I need, but I wanted the buckles and the swivel hip clips. And these, I think this was £12 for 3 sets. So it's £11.99, but for 3 sets of those. But they will go really nicely onto that strap, and I've got the right width for going onto the strap. And I'll neaten that off, obviously, and then that will make that. I do think if you can buy the ready-made straps already and you find ones that you like, then they are really good and quick. And I mean, by the time I've bought the materials to make mine, they're probably as cheap to buy ready-made. So just bear that in mind. I'll just put those in there so I don't lose them. But I did buy those, and so I've been making those. But the pattern by, I think it's Hannah Walker, and I'll put a link up on the screen. I actually do a children's size as well. So I've made this one for Clementine, my granddaughter. And this is actually the same boucle fabric that Bramble Bear's made out of, but I just thought that would be really nice and tactile for her. And I got this little label, and it says, I am smart, I am kind, I am brave, I am me. And I thought that went really nice with the rainbow zip as well that I've got on there. I've got a little hook on there because I need to get some more hooks that size for her because she's only small. And the labels are by Little Rosy Cheeks. And those are the ones that I bought there. And then I also bought these ones, which are made by Grandma as well. So let me show you one of those. Because these are really cute for putting on your little projects. So that one says made by Grandma. And then on the back it's got a little hand inside a bigger hand, which is really cute. So I have started putting these into my projects for Clementine, and then I'll be able to for the new baby as well. So I did get those. How many labels are in here? Don't think it says. I think I've used 2 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've used 2 of those. So it might be 5 or 6 in a packet, but that's Little Rosy Cheeks, and there's the contact details for them if you want to take a little screenshot of that and have a look at those, which are great. So that's really good. And the pattern designer for the bum bag, she has got videos already, so I won't be doing a video of mine unless people really struggle with her video, but I followed it along, and she's got a really ingenious way, because it's got a little pocket inside, look, and I put the little handmade by Grandma in there. And she's got a really ingenious way that the way to seal it up at the end is to just use hand sew closed this seam here, only on the lining. The rest of it all is all fully enclosed, and there's no bias binding on the inside at all. It's all really neatly styled. So that's a really, really good way of sealing a bag, and I really appreciate the time she's taken in getting that just right. So I've actually made 3 of these now. 1, 2, 3. And then my mum has said that she wants one as well, and she's chosen this fabric. So I've got to get one of those made as well for her before I go back over to the UK. Now each of mine I've used, apart from the boucle, but it's like a light upholstery fabric like this. So it's got some depth to it. It's probably for curtains or for seat covers, that kind of fabric. So it has got that kind of stiffness to it. But then I've also used something that I use in a lot of my bags, and that is on this big roll here, and that is something called scrim foam. And the scrim foam is what you actually use for if you look up when you're in your car and you see the fabric covering over the frame, then this is what this is, but it's got like a felted side one side and then a nylon side the other. But it's got a good stiffness to it, as you can see, so it holds up, I've got threads there, sorry, but it holds up fabric really well in it when you're making bags, and you can quilt through it anyway if you're making a bag. So that's, I bought 10 meters at this when I was doing some bag making at one stage. And although I've stopped making the bag making per se, then I've used that in each of these bags, and it just gives it that little extra stiffness. I think that Hannah just suggests that you use either a quilting weight cotton or that duck weight fabric for hers, but I'm finding that that would be a little floppy for me, and I want that stiffness for it to hold its shape. So yes, I've just got to work out what I'm doing for the strap for Clementine's, and I need some more smaller clips for hers because that's just 1 inch there, whereas the other ones I got I think are 1.5 or 2, so they're too big. It's trying to get the scale right, isn't it? But I just thought that's a really nice little present for her, and hopefully she'll be able to wear that and enjoy wearing that. So that's what I've been doing behind the scene, and as there is a video already, it was a bit of selfish sewing really, because I don't need to film and record a video for you guys, not unless you struggle, but as I say, I'll link her details below for you so that you'll have that. The other thing that I was doing is I've been doing a chalk painting project as well. So I bought so we live in an apartment, and as you walk in the door, I needed something to put shoes and bags into, because a friend of mine who's very spiritual said you're not supposed to put your handbag on the floor. Apparently putting your handbag on the floor spiritually is a real big no-no, and it's supposed to mean that your money is going to leak out of your bag, is the way that they put it. Obviously over here in Spain in the summer you don't really want to put things on the floor just in case anything creepy crawly goes into it, which, you know, I've never had happen to me, but I use it as a good excuse not to put my handbag on the floor. And so I wanted a cabinet of some sort to put my my handbag and then shoes in and things like that. And I managed to find one from a charity shop. It was just €40, which I didn't think was too bad, and it's quite solidly made. But what I'm doing is I've just ordered some foam for the top of it, and I'm going to make a seat for it so that it's multifunctional. It can be a seat as well for sitting on to put your shoes on when on and off. And then it's going to store and hide the shoes and store and hide the handbags as well. I'll put a picture up here for you. I haven't got a picture of what it was before because I kind of just got on with it, and I was not 100% for a good 10 days after the operation, and I think I did it round about day 10. But then I then finished it later on. But I'm really pleased it's got finished, and I really like the way it's turned out. And I've been today to a local design shop, and they have a bag of remnants, and they have sort of like a basket of them, and you can search through. And I've chosen this fabric, which I thought would cover the cushion very nicely. So I used Annie Sloane's French linen paint, chalk paint, and that sort of matches in with this colour. And then these beige and creams are really what my apartment is kind of decorated in and the design wise. So I'm going to make a boxed cushion for that, and I've got a video on my channel for how to make boxed cushion furniture. It was for an outdoor set that I did previously, but the same principles will apply to making this. And I think there's even enough for me to have a couple of cushions just set up on the back as well, which I will hopefully be making with that. So I was quite pleased just to pick that fabric up this morning, actually, only this morning. So that will then get me busy working that through. But I just like working with the different weights of fabric. So sometimes I'm working with the felt, sometimes I'm working dressmaking fabric, such as my dress that I've made here, which is the Peony dress by Fabric Godmother. And it's got these lovely frills here, so it's got a little bit of a Spanish twist to it, which I quite like. And this is in a needle cord fabric, this one is. But then I like doing the projects as well, like the bags. So I do, and then I do a bit of embroidery, a bit of cross stitch. And so hopefully, if you're new and you're following along with my discussion, then hopefully you'll enjoy the content, and also do a bit of quilting as well. I've got a quilt on the go for Clementine, and I thought I'd do more of that while I was laid up and not well, but I didn't do at all. I didn't feel like stitching at all until I was getting better, and then I used the bum bag as something to have a go at to get me back into my sewing. So that's something else I've got to do in between doing Byron's jacket, of course. And then also the other thing that I've been doing is I just started another knitting project. So this one is in a lovely cream wool, and it's baby knitting. Don't we just love that kind of knitting? So it's got some needles in it still because I'm still doing the sleeve, but let me see if I've got this side to show you. And this is a design by a company on Instagram called Little French Knits. I don't know if you can see that. So this is the sleeve with a little knit edge cuff on there, and then it's got this lovely kind of very small, I don't know if you, oh there you go, there you can pick it up, little small cable on there, which is just a 3-stitch cable, which is lovely. And you knit it from the neck down, and you do all of these increases in the knit to do this lovely cable just down. Oh, there you can see it a little bit more and see the sleeve. So it makes a really, really nice pattern. And if you've got any new babies due in your family, or you just like to knit for pleasure and then gift it away, then this is a really nice one. It just takes 2 50-gram balls. So I got 100-gram ball. It's only £2.95 for the wool. And yes, I'm knitting that up. So that'll be a nice little one to get done. So in an evening when I can sort of do this quite easily without my glasses on while I'm watching TV and just sew that. So that one will be for the new baby. I did make some for Clementine as well, so it is a pattern that I do love knitting, because it just follows really nicely and I can tick off all of the rows. But I'll put her Instagram for you down below as well, so that you've got that to be able to follow. So after all of that, I'm going to leave it fairly short and sweet really. A lot of people know that my videos do tend to go on quite a lot. I have a lot to say, unfortunately. But I hope that if you are new to my channel, that you've enjoyed this quick delve into saying hello to who I am, and that you enjoy the content of my channel, and that there's lots more that will entertain you coming forward. I'm very grateful, as I said, for you all being here. It really does help to know that you're there and you're interested, and feel free, please do, to leave a comment down below. Just let me know where you found me from. I think a couple of people recently, one person said they'd found me from a sewing group in America, so that was lovely as well to know that I'm kind of across the ocean over there. And so it's always lovely to know where you found about me from, and also if you're happy to spread the word as well, then you know, I'd love a mention, and I'll also mention you as well on my channel too. So you know, hopefully there's some crossover between people and the things that we enjoy doing. And I just love how stitching brings us together across the miles and across the countries. It really does warm your heart that just that simple act of needle and thread in whatever your discipline is, or even yarn and needles, then it really does bring us all together, and I'm really grateful. And I hope that everything's okay with you as well, wherever you are in the world. I know we've had quite a lot of ups and downs in our life, or we're going through that at the moment, and my heart goes out to you if you're experiencing the same. And as somebody said to me recently, it doesn't rain forever. So we have to hold on to that and that hope, and then we get a little ray of sunshine that comes through, and hopefully that will lift our spirits and make everything worthwhile for us. So I'm holding on to that thought process with both hands. We've got a lot to be grateful for, and we do practice gratitude as well whenever we're able to. So I just want to say thank you for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this quick whistle stop tour for what I'm working on, and I'll look forward to seeing you very soon. So take care everybody, and happy stitching. Bye.